Do you ever get home from a long day of anything, school, work, you sit down, you go on your phone, you sit on the TV, you grab a stinky bag of What's Its, and you just, you have a nice little session of dopamine for 2 hours. You think it was 10 minutes, but it wasn't 10 minutes because you weren't focusing on anything. It was 2 hours. And during those 2 hours, you heard this tiny voice in your head telling you, don't do this. It's not going to be good for you. You're not going to be happy with yourself after these 2 hours. But you just ignore it, and you finish those hours. And at the end, you're miserable, and you reflect on what you've actually done with your time. And you think about it, and you tell yourself, I don't have any control. You think you're a slave, but you don't have control over your life. That's what you think, because you just weren't able to turn the phone off. You wanted to turn it off, but you just simply couldn't. Right? My name is David Augustin, and me and my friend on this channel, we're on a mission to help misguided individuals to reclaim their control that they've lost, the control they've lost in their lives. Today we're talking about how to build control in your life. How to build control. Now, I'm super happy I'm talking about this, because I'm super happy I found out about this, and I'm just really glad, because I finally think I found a way to build control. And I'm happy to say I'm going to start a dopamine detox, because I'm officially starting a dopamine detox. I've sat down yesterday, I've written down what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and I'm happy because I'm finally taking action. Taking action is it's the most step one, most crucial part when you're trying to achieve something, you're trying to get to that success. If you know, there is a step 0, it's mental health. But yes, so how do you build control in your life? What you truly need is grit. You need willpower. You need to build that resistance to temptation, because today there's so many things that can tempt us to just waste our time, to not follow our diet, like McDonald's, KFC, everything. There's plenty of things that, everywhere you can see. You can go to the street, it's shocking. It's instant gratification everywhere. And the reason why I talked about a dopamine detox just now was because this really, I think a dopamine detox would really help with trying to build control into your life. Because what a dopamine detox is, it's cutting down on the delayed instant gratification you're doing, and building up the delayed gratification you'll be doing. And what delayed gratification is, it can be activities such as exercising, reading, meditating, ice cold showers. What else? There's plenty. Studying, learning a new skill, starting some new project. Yeah, and what that does, it's really good for building discipline. And that is how it really relates well to building control, because with the discipline, you can control your life. However, you really need that diamond hard grit, that Zeus had to demolish those mythical creatures. But how do you do that, you may ask? Well, what you need to do is you need to face your fears. You need to understand what your addictions are, right? And you just need to face them. You need to bring them up and look at them in the eyes, okay? You need to really confront them. Because if you can't confront them, you're not going to build that discipline to stop doing them, right? It's so crucial you do that. And I'm really glad I found this out, because I know it's going to really help, and it's going to be able to destroy addictions. Just facing the fears. Take, for example, social media addiction, right? If you have a social media addiction, what are you going to do, right? You're going to open up YouTube, open up Instagram homepage, and you're just going to sit down in a chair, you're going to glue your arms to the what is this called, bro? rest. You're gonna metaphorically glue to it with your willpower, and you're just gonna look at it. This is what you should be doing, like 5, 10, 20 minutes. Just look at the homepage, right? You're just gonna build temptation. It's like meditating with your eyes open. You're gonna look at it, and you're not gonna do anything. You just look at it, and you're gonna build temptation. You might build a temptation, like an artificial one, but you're not gonna touch. You're not gonna move anything. So you're also building the resistance to that temptation. And there are 2 ways to do this, right? One is that you need to find a purpose in why you're doing this. So why would I be trying to resist the temptation to go on social media? It can be for self-love. This is a really good general one, because for self-love, I want to spend less time. I want to destroy my addiction on social media so that I can have more time for myself in the future, so my future can benefit, so I can be more productive, so I can work more towards my goals that will ultimately make me happy in the future. The purpose is really important. So everyone can apply self-love. Everyone wants to be loved by themselves in the future, because they do want themselves to succeed. And the second one is you need to educate yourself. That's the second step, is that education is key. So for example, you need to understand why you're doing this. Why am I sitting down? Why is social media bad for me? You can educate yourself as to why these addictions are bad for you, because that will have a greater reasoning. A greater reasoning means that you'll have a greater resistance to that temptation. You'll have a greater drive behind you, pushing forward so that you can succeed. Okay? And yeah, that is really key, facing your fears. I think I did have a social media addiction, and I did delete all of the apps, pretty much. Yeah, I think I deleted Instagram, Snapchat last year, YouTube, and my life was good. But I hid away from that, because whenever someone opened up social media, my eyes would fixate onto that screen. Like, I really wanted to know what they were doing. What were they doing? Who's doing what is on whoever's story. But ultimately, I don't really care. That's why education is important. Just channeling your thoughts. Journaling is super helpful. And journaling can be used to educate yourself. But because I hid away from my addiction, I was more prone to falling back into it. And I didn't build that discipline to actually destroy the addiction and continue my life without having to worry about being addicted to social media, right? What I did was I sort of, say for example, ground level, right? You got a challenge, like 1 hour of social media in one day. It's like a challenge. I usually spend 2 hours a day. Not now, but I used to, right? So I'm here and I need to beat this level. Why did instead of going through the trials and tribulations like Zeus would, I just borrowed under. Instead of overcoming, I was undercoming. Alright? New word. I like borrowed under, and that was good for the short term. Like you can see, for the short term, I just avoid the goal and I'm on to the next one. Level 2's over here. I was protected in the short term, but long term it was not good, because at level 2, the greatest challenges that would come over time, for example, just some greater challenge, I may have to study for an exam, so I won't be able to go on social media at all in a few days. I didn't develop the skills in level 1 to be able to overcome level 2 that I'm on right now. That's why it's crucial that you face the fears. Don't hide away, don't avoid them, don't forget them. Write them down in your journal. You have to accept you've got these addictions. This is why accept, adapt, and overcome. It's such a great mindset to apply. You accept you've got these addictions and you adapt by not running away. That's not adapting. That's short-term adaptation. But you need that long-term adaptation, because we're here on self-improvement for the long term. We want to live like kings, like with 10 out of 10 bodies, with this discipline all these great habits we're going to build throughout our lives. So we're in here for the long haul, and we need to face these addictions, right? We need to understand it's going to be a while, but we've got the willpower, we've got the belief. And don't hide away, don't avoid, right? It's is you just, because you do know you're in control of your life, and you need to apply that to whenever you're going to be facing this addiction. Like, sit down. If you're addicted to chocolates, put some chocolates in front of you and just sit down, stare at them for 5 minutes. Maybe like every day, every few days, just stare at them. Build that resistance to temptation so you overcome the addiction to chocolates. Like, you think those people who like I told you my example, but people who said, oh yeah, they're going on a healthy diet, they're chucking out all the junk food out of their house, they're going to be healthy. They completely, they sort of, what they do, they throw out the bad stuff. They come into school with salad and they hate what they're eating. They're trying to lose weight. After a week, they might do well, but the next day they're back onto the crap food because they didn't build that discipline that you need mentally to overcome a true addiction. What they did, they just hid from it. They isolated themselves away from what was causing their addiction, but not the root cause. The root cause was they didn't have enough mental strength, and you need to build willpower, mental strength to build control and to destroy the bad habits, to destroy those addictions in your life. For example, if you have two addictions, weed and porn, if you overcome the addiction to weed, you're not going to be able to overcome the addiction to porn. They're two different addictions. They might be very similar in how they affect your brain, but porn might affect a different part of your brain. They might all rely on dopamine, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, you can't really apply the discipline to weed you build against fighting that addiction. You can't apply that discipline to porn. They're just different things, right? It's just, you can't do that. But with the dopamine detox, it can be helpful. And because once you're doing these delayed gratification activities, you build this discipline. But facing your fears is a really good way to sort of build specific willpower. That is, it's willpower that is sort of specific to certain addictions that I just described. And that is what I believe is like it exists, it's true. But with the addictions, if you break one addiction, doesn't mean you can break all of them, because they're all different in their own ways, right? So yeah, just make sure you need to face those addictions. Now I would say my social media addiction, I've almost overcome it. Like, I still have a few bad days, but it's much better than it was in the past with my younger self. And I'm really happy with that. But I'm still going to strive to achieve that zero social media. And that's where the dopamine detox comes in hand. It's like a proper structure. And I'm not making a video on this. I'll make a video on this in the future after I've had some time in the dopamine detox. So, like, benefits, like how to do it, what to do, like structures in your day, this and that. But social media, I'm going to strive to eradicate that soon. But I would say I still have a problem with porn, because obviously I haven't solved the addiction I have. I relapsed, right? I relapsed. Obviously, if I wasn't addicted, I wouldn't have relapsed. And this one's a tricky one. I'm going to be doing a bit of experimenting with this, because I don't think just, like, for example, you might apply the same knowledge with the chocolate bars and just looking at them, building a temptation. I don't think just looking at porn will be healthy, like, every day, because I'll just be, like, if I'm looking at disgustingly darkened lives of, like, women and that are wasting themselves and doing horrendous things, it's not going to be healthy for me. It's unnatural. Like, porn is unnatural, you know. So I'm gonna be thinking about that. I'll be seeing what I've been what I'll be doing. But one thing I have been doing, and I think it is working. I applied that I am in control mindset from what I learned yesterday on Sunday with the meditation. If you haven't checked the video out I made yesterday, make sure you check it out, because it's like a good foundation for this video about the I am in control stuff, how to build control in that. But what I've been doing with like this porn stuff and that, like an addiction to this, because like sometimes thinking about it, I can feel a spike in dopamine, like not even in my bed, like in my heart and in my head, and like this spike of comfort that I just want this, yeah. So that is obviously unnatural. You could argue, oh yeah, I'm a teenager, I've got these hormonal fluctuations, but porn hasn't been around for ages. Like back in the day, they weren't, you know. It's unnatural. It's unhealthy. It's an addiction and it's unhealthy. If you have an addiction, it's unhealthy. Balance is key to life. Full stop. So what I've been doing, I've been doing a bit of visualization. I've been thinking, I could go on my bed right now. I could stop recording actually. I could stop recording right now. Go on my bed. I could stop doing something productive, something that is gonna help my future self, that is gonna help your future selves, and just bust a nut or something, just out of pure lust and instant gratification. But I'm not going to, because I know I'm in control of my life, and that's what I learned from yesterday, and that is what you should learn too. If you go back to that video, honestly, check that video out. It's really gonna help. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm in control. I know it's not good for me. It's a waste of time. I'm going to the gym after. It's going to be a waste of time and energy for me to release my seed. That seed is essential to have energy so I don't feel empty, so I feel energized, right? I'm not going to do it. I told myself I could do it. Like I could do it anytime I'm at home, pretty much, like hypothetically, but I'm not going to, and because I am in control, and I'm gonna keep doing this often. So I build this belief I'm in control. I build this strong belief, this super strong, durable belief that I'm in control, and I'm gonna see how it goes. You'll see me back on that 3-digit streaks on NoFap, of course, but I think that's gonna help me. Yeah. Apply that rule to your NoFap journey. I think it will help, because I'm building this very good belief that I'm in control of my life. Yeah, just visualizing different things can be really helpful. And yeah, visualizations are very powerful, so that's what I'm going to be doing more often. And to wrap up a bit, with the dopamine detox, so yeah, I'm going to be hopping in on this dopamine detox. I've written about it, but I'm not going to make a video yet about it, because I haven't officially done it, so I haven't learned loads of things, and I can't really offer too much because I haven't experienced it. So I'm going to be hopping on it. You should hop on it too if you want self-love, if you want more time for yourself, if you want to invest more time so that you can be doing more delayed gratification, so that you can improve your future self as much as possible. All right, I'm hopping on dopamine detox, and it should be good. I'm going to keep that mindset that you are in control. I am in control of my life. You are in control of your life. And we're gonna succeed, boys. So yeah, obviously, if you're starting out on this dopamine detox, honestly, I don't care, like right now, if you're watching this video, get a piece of paper. If you're not on dopamine detox already, I'm starting mine. You should start yours. Get a piece of paper, write down what you're gonna be doing more of, what delayed gratification you're gonna be doing more of. The idea is so that, I'll go into a bit, but not too much. So the idea is that, so you cut down the instant gratification, you increase delayed gratification, right? And what this does to you is that you pretty much build willpower, because you'll be doing more things that will build discipline, build control, so you have control of your life, literally, so that you can find smaller things in life you're more appealing. That's what dopamine detox is, really. And yeah, to take that piece of paper right now, write down, I'm gonna cut down this by this much. people think, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut down everything completely, like a diet, fasting, this, that. But no, that's not really healthy. We're in here for the long haul. And so tell yourself, I'm gonna cut this down for a bit, I'm gonna do this for a bit. I'm gonna do well in this compared to most people because I don't spend too much time on social media. So I'll probably only be trying to do 2 hours of instant grat a week. But yeah, we're just gonna be doing well. I'm just putting it out there. What's gonna help you is that belief that you're in control on your dopamine detox. I'm gonna come back soon, few weeks time, about my dopamine detox journey. And that's pretty much it, yeah? Make sure you're taking action. Make sure you write down what you want to do today with your dopamine detox. Tell yourself that you're in control. You can take anything out of this video and apply it and use it right now. For example, the visualization. Like, oh yeah, I could do this, but I'm not going to because I'm in control, right? And just make sure to accept, adapt, and overcome.